Today, we are going to install our Jeep LED fifth wheel light. So let's get into the steps. Step 1. Remove spare. First, remove the reverse camera plastic trim. Then begin to remove the 3 lug nuts on the spare wheel. When you have all 3 lug nuts off, you can now remove the spare wheel. Step 2. Remove third brake light. There are 7 screws that need to be removed in order for the plastic housing to be removed. When you finally have all 7 screws removed, the plastic trim should be free. Now just remove 2 screws at the bottom of the third brake light and disconnect the connector to have the third brake light removed. Step 3. Remove tail light. In order for this tail light to be removed, you have to go in your trunk and pop this plastic panel off. Once it's off, unscrew the plastic tab as shown. Now, once it's been removed, you're able to pop the tail light off. Disconnect the connector and put the tail light to the side for now. Step 4. Route wiring. Now you need to source a spare wire that can be routed through the tail light hole. You can see that the wire has been routed through the tail light hole to the top of the wheel well as shown. Now that the spare wire is in place, get your fifth wheel light wiring harness and locate the third brake light connector. Set that wire to the side and take the remaining wires and guide them through the gap on your rear bumper as shown. Once they are guided through the bumper, tape them to the spare wire we set aside by the end that's at the wheel well. Pull the wires through and out the tail light hole. Now remove the tape and the spare wire used to help fish the wiring. And you are done routing your wiring. Step 5. Connect wiring harness. Grab your relay box included in the fifth wheel kit and begin to connect the wiring harness to it. The connections only fit 1-to-1, so there is no way to connect anything wrong. Tuck in the box inside the tail light hole and begin connecting the factory tail light connection into our fifth wheel light wiring connector. Now everything should be connected besides the tail light connection coming from the fifth wheel wiring. Step 6. Third brake light wiring. Finally, we can come back to the third brake light wiring that we set aside earlier and begin routing it through the spare tire mount as shown. Begin connecting our wiring harness connections to the factory connections. They will act as a bridge between the factory connections in order to make the fifth wheel light work properly. Once everything is connected, you can begin to screw on the third brake light. Now start to tuck in all the wiring into the plastic housing holding up the third brake light as shown. Screw in 7 screws to complete the third brake light part of the install. Step 7. Securely mount wiring. Begin to clean the bottom of the hatch door and under the tail light with some alcohol and a microfiber towel. Once cleaned, you can begin to stick the included 3M plastic mounts where they are needed. Now begin to zip tie the wiring to the mounts and leave some slack where the door opens in order to properly be able to open and close the rear door. Final step. Reinstall tail light. Connect the connector from the fifth wheel wiring harness into the tail light. Now just screw in the plastic tab on the inside of the trunk that we removed previously. Finally, you are done.